like supermarkets, department stores, kirana stores, farmers market, and online store based on the nature and demand for the commodities. On the other side, government is also operating the buffer stock through FCI procurement from farmers, and later it is distributed through PDS to the people under different schemes to target different kind of people below and above poverty lines. It is mainly to ensure the food security to the people, and these operations are very, very critical during this kind of lockdowns and emergencies. And it is basically in total availability and access to food. So it is more than marketing, it is a matter of food security. Retail options vary between person to person, which is largely determined by their income levels, nature of product, volume of product. So coming to the retail industry specifically, India is the third largest retail industry in the world with a value of $500 during last year. It has a strong base, like a pyramid structure. Nearly 98% is shared by small retailer outlets called neighborhood shops or kirana shops, and remaining 2% is shared by the big players. And they have vast plans to expand their market share from 2% to 4% in the recent coming years. Now, the COVID-19, the pandemic is applying large amount of pressure on mankind all over the world, especially on market environment. It is a single major factor influencing every environment and perhaps the markets to greater extent. So let us start with a simple graph. Perhaps it is the simple and most popular graph in the world, we can say, among the economists and the business managers, and which shows demand, supply, equilibrium, prices, quantities, and the classical factors influencing the demand, supply, equilibrium in normal conditions, that is price, availability of substitutes, price of substitutes, income of the consumers, and other tastes and preferences. These graphs will be very much helpful to apply the changes in demand and supply due to this kind of pandemic environment. How every factor influences in arriving new equilibriums in the market. It is not like the day before COVID, so we call a new equilibrium. That equilibrium changes due to every announcement or every development in this period. So first of all, the time is restricted. So we cannot go to stores at whatever the time we want to purchase. So it is generally limited to 10 to 1, and sometimes in relaxed zones or green zones, it is extended up to 5 p.m. So that greatly influence your markets. And place, since our mobility is restricted, you have to buy the stores near to you, not you cannot travel to a distant stores. And your buying powers is determined by your income flow, and salaried people and the daily wage earners approach market based on their money available with them. Transport is very highly hampered. In marketing language, we can say the supply chain or the distribution chain is broken because of this pandemic. And large quantity of produce is available with the farmers. It has to be distributed to the consumers Sometimes the transport will be a big problem. So we cannot say directly it can be stored and released later. Storability is a question. Storage facilities, whether the product is amenable for storage, and mainly the cost of storage. So this will greatly influence the market. And quantity, this is very peculiar phenomenon. Though you are visiting stores, though you have enough money to buy products, sometimes the store racks are empty. That says there are some early birds which visits the store early and they take a comparatively large quantity of produces they want and they leave the shelf empty. Though you have money, though the store is approachable, you return it empty-handed or you return with smaller quantity than you retrieve. Then emergence of new market players. So there are people working in different places. For example, in bus stands, the people where the people gather, they sell fruits, vegetables, snacks, so many things. So they lose their livelihood or employment since everything is closed. So they take the role of distributing these fruits, vegetables, selling some peculiar things to the consumers at their doorstep. So very prominently, the government role is very high. Generally, whenever we talk about markets, we talk about the role of government, intervention of government. So at this situation, the role of government is very prominent and everything is regulated and guided. So in a nutshell, this COVID pandemic is not a simple speed breaker. It is a very strong pneumatic tire killer. We have to travel, we have to make our moves very carefully. So to take care of our health, to take care of other people. So the environment is very much constrained now. So now we will move to a little complicated graph compared to earlier, but which is a simple one. So it talks about excess supply and excess demand. So instead of seeing the graph, if it is very difficult for you, you can see the photos. The excess supply, excess demand. So two cases. So there are plenty of produce is left with the farmers due to the break of chain during the initial stage of this COVID. Transportation was very much hampered. Though the produce is available, it is not reaching to the hands of consumers in time. The quantity may be less, and it is a question of storability. Few things cannot be stored. So though the produce is there, it is not reaching to the market. The second case is some produce which are consumed in very less quantity in normal case are not preferred during this critical period. For example, these melons, cucumbers, which are produced in larger quantity, but which is not absorbed by the markets. And sometimes these commodities, these produce were left in the field itself. So it affects equilibrium. Okay? So one side excess demand can be met or cannot be met. One side excess supply, which is ignored, which is not consumed. So this create problem for the producers. So their income is affected. So in continuation, so this is again a theoretical graph which explains same amount of demand, same amount of supply. So the equilibrium is E, and the demand changes, the supply remains same, that is E1. Demand changes, supply also changes, E2. This way, the change in demand supply will create new equilibrium for different commodities in a different way. So we cannot generalize the unique phenomenon for all the producers. For example, agriculture producers move this way. We cannot. Each and every commodity have its own demand supply equilibrium. Now we come to the second part, the COVID scenario at macro level, because the macro level provides a blanket general guideline to all the micro level participants. So the Ministry of Health and all respective state governments, they published standard operating procedures at different points of time for all the sections of people, not only for health managers, for farmers, consumers, for everyone. So at different point of time, lockdown relaxation cases were announced and decisions were taken dynamically, and general universal recommendations of social distancing, use of masks were recommended, and use of applications to safeguard a person from the disease infestation. Arogya Setu, it monitors the it places as well as the movement of the person who installed the app. And Kisan Rath is one important announcement which allows farmers to take their farm produce to the markets freely. These are all exempted from restrictions. So farmers can freely take the produce. This is very important for farmers as well as consumer side. All the products should reach the markets, and the consumers should also have the produces for their food needs. Indian Council of Agriculture Research also published farm advisory, not only for the farmers, the other players also. So protocols were given to the farmers to maintain standing crops, how to harvest, how to thrash, the use of machineries, the manpower. Later, the post-harvest handling also prescribed. Way of storage, transportation, everything is prescribed in the farm advisory. Not only for crops, it is for animal husbandry and fisheries also. So there are a lot of information related to different food items and their health impact. There were rumors also. So taking of non-vegetarian items, usually broiler chicken and fish, sometimes it spread COVID, but those were proved wrong. Anyhow, that is to avoid overcrowding and chances of spread of this COVID. And states waive the market fee for the farmers to sell their produce in the market, and the food delivery business, those were restricted initially and relaxed over in the second phase. In some places, food delivery caused some of the spread of COVID. Then again, some restrictions were put on the food delivery mechanism. So equally, the other side, the supply side, the input marketing is also highly taken care of. Input market is already well organized. There are private and government players, and it is supported by uh, farmer producer companies and technical person from private companies, following the SOP of COVID-19. The social distancing while purchasing the inputs, while engaging laborers, the social distancing, use of masks, everything should be followed. So here we concentrate more on product side. So this is the second part of our COVID scenario, that is micro level, because macro level favors the efficient functioning of micro level. It should facilitate. If there is a macro level constraint, it will hamper the total micro level operations. So this is, we can take as a simple definition of the two components, micro retail and mobile retail. Maybe in standard textbooks of retail market managements will give very precise definitions. But for simple understanding, micro retail is one which is near to us with reasonably a small quantity of items which are regularly top up and easily accessible to us. And the mobile retails are, is not cellular mobile, it is the mobility. And these days, these two models, two units performed externally to reach a larger section of people during this lockdown. So we have options, several retail options, online ordering, door deliveries, and even food items also door delivered. So early phase of this lockdown, there was a huge restriction on movement of vehicles taking these food items. So though these sectors are exempted, the big players, they hesitate to operate their retail shops because of their large number of manpower engaged in their shops. It may cause spread. So they just locked, where these small shops, these mobile shops started operating very efficiently. Over the period of time, the online shops, for example, the pantry, which operates several cities of the country, still more cities to be added. It is based on the relaxation announced in different states and district level. So there are so many town cities are unreached by these stores. So at this level, these kirana shops, which I generally call micro or small stores, they flourish because of the permission given to them to operate, and the big shops, malls, were restricted to operate. They are shut down. So it was an opportunity for the small players to reach large number of sections during this period. What happened at micro level? So these points are my personal observations and a review from newspapers. So serious may have some reservations on my view. Lot of data is needed, and if it is different, just take it as a hypothesis from my side. So there is a change in diversification of their purchase, a change in quantity of purchase, the frequency, services obtained, which largely influence the consumption pattern. This particular picture depicts everything in one slide. This is popularly called panic purchase in media. People started buying very hurriedly. With short span of time, they purchase so many things, and they do intense purchase. That is what the mean. So we'll discuss these things one by one. So your purchase basket is diversified. I'm covering on two sides. One is medium and high income group. One is low income group. So left hand side, it is purchase behavior of middle and high income group. So they do basic purchase, basic groceries, rice, atta, wheat, oils, and this period enhanced purchase of more spices, more dry fruits and nuts, and notably snacks, fruits and juices, ready to cook foods. So these observations were confirmed with the retailers approachable to me, and this is very common buying behavior, and there is a change. So the last 5 items, they buy regularly, but this period resulted purchase of more items under this category. But on the other side, less income group, they concentrated and purchased more on basic groceries. The intensity is buying more than what actually they need. So since the future is very uncertain, how many days the lockdown is going to continue and how many days the stores will be kept open. So they make some assumption, and based on that they do purchase, and most of the times it was an intense purchase by the most of the consumers. Then come to frequency of purchase. Frequency of purchase is largely depending on the quantity of purchase. So buying behavior in bulk. For example, if you buy for a month or 2 weeks, So frequency of visiting the store will be very less, and quantity alone will not determine. It's again the size of family. If your family is bigger number, so you need a lot of groceries and other items most frequently, and it is highly influenced by the flow of income. It is again the question of salaried people and daily wage earners. Whatever the amount comes to their hands, pocket, they try to spend on buying of groceries. Then distance of shops. You are residing in suburbans and you generally purchase in cities, then frequency will be less. When you are surrounded with departmental stores or small shops, so you will be making frequent. But these are all common buying behaviors which largely influence the quantity of purchase and visiting the stores, because our mobility is very much restricted. So we want to stay at home, and though we want to come outside, that is very much purposeful, and it should be as short as possible. So we want to buy more whenever we have money. And then comes the question of stock filling. So though you purchase in bulk, most often based on daily usage, some will go out of stock, so we have to come out. And if you have some storage facility, you will be making large buyings, especially the fruits, vegetables, milk, the refrigeration. On the other side, the frequency of purchase is high in case of low income group, because they buy on smaller quantity on regular basis, once in 3 days, 2 days. So the number of visits to the shops by this group of people is high. Again, it can be taken as a hypothesis. It is just based on my observation. It needs a lot of data to prove it. Then services available during this period. So initially the door deliveries were banned. So already we have seen in this online store door delivery. So at the end of first phase, they permitted delivery of groceries, goods to the doorsteps. And again, it largely depends on the quantity you order and the distance. You may not be having, you may be residing very long away from the store. They will hesitate to deliver. And the optimum quantity at least you must order. So, and the payment modes also. So these kind of services were provided by these small stores easily. Okay, on the other side, the low income group, they have to go in person. They collect the smaller quantity of their need for a few days, and they make generally the cash payments, and that makes very convenient for their purchase and payments. So I display some of the pictures taken from markets from Tamil Nadu. What has happened at micro level, especially in case of vegetable marketing. So the guidelines are provided to markets, in the farmers market, to ensure the sanitation of the visitors and sellers. So in most of the markets, these sanitizing tunnels were established, and the buyers were permitted inside market only through this tunnel. And the usual farmers markets are having space constraints. So you cannot allow large number of buyers at a time when the space is very much constrained. So at a point of time, the local administration decided to shift the markets to spacious places where you can maintain social distancing. What you are seeing in the third photograph, people stand in isolation and they buy relaxedly, and this much space is required to maintain the hygiene. And certain point of time, this mechanism is also disturbed. So many people flood into the markets at a time, and it led to violation of this social distance. So that case, the Department of Agriculture, in guidance with the district administration, they decided to deliver the vegetables to the restricted areas in carts. So they take small vans, they load the vegetables, and they make announcement in speakers. And at the entrance of every street, it is announced, and they give adequate time to come out and collect the produces. And big farmers who sell several commodities in farmers market were also permitted to use their own vehicles after following the SOPs properly. And generally farmers do sell only few commodities from their farm. They may be growing few vegetables. On the right hand side, the farmer is selling two items, tomato and brinjal. So a moped is sufficient for him, not necessarily a van or tempo. So he can sell at the doorsteps. So these are the measures taken at micro level in reaching the doorsteps of the people who are in a constrained environment. And there are lockouts in different zones also. For example, district borders are closed, containment zones are closed, and there are some traffic restriction to some areas. So they allowed permitted temporary market near to borders. So it is permitted by the Department of Agriculture Marketing, and they give permission to the farmers and small sellers to sell in their places for the specific period of time. And left hand side, some of the vegetables are neatly sorted out, and guidelines were provided to them in sorting, wearing of gloves, mask. So though they are sitting without mask, so it is taken at the later stage. Generally, officials insist to wear masks. On the right hand side, there are small shops which are permitted inside the residential areas also. So the vegetable seller is residing in that area. Her shop is at farmers market. So she was permitted to operate within that residential area for this period of. So other mechanism is the contribution of farmer producer companies. So they play a vital role in distribution of these goods. So in second phase, that is when your transportation difficulties are somewhat relaxed, so they started operating their own vehicles in delivery. So yesterday, so this Sevalaya is an FTC operating as Nagarkoil. So they started a home delivery of groceries called E-Maligai. Maligai is a Tamil word for groceries. So this is in collaboration with Agricultural Marketing Department of Government of Tamil Nadu. So they inaugurated this service from yesterday. So you can order by WhatsApp or over phone call, and that will be delivered. Whatever may be the quantity. So they are at the beginning level. So they encourage people to buy. Even the small quantities also will be delivered. So this is to ensure the safety and ensure the delivery of goods at your doorstep. And more importantly, 108 farmer producer groups are collectively acting in this platform, and covering 78 villages and nearly 5,000 families. So this can be a successful model for future delivery of farm produces through FPCs, and which fairly ensures the benefit of farmers as well as consumers. So now we move to strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges regarding micro mobile market, that is small markets. So again, this is just a list of SWOT. So you can add based on your experience and research findings. This is just to show and just for a point of discussion. So strength of these small markets, they are deep rooted, and in the total market share, the small markets, these Kirana stores, small stores share 98% of the market. So they can cater the needs of local taste and preferences. So generally branded cosmopolite products are available everywhere, generally in supermarkets, departmental stores. But the local needs, their taste and preferences, they are met in the most of the time in the small stores. So it provides opportunities to promote the local brands also. The local brands, small producers, small sellers, they cannot display their products in big stores. So promotion of self is very much limited, and big companies, big brand holders, they take the major share of the help of big stores. So these small stores, they encourage and they help the local brands to establish. So it is a mutual help, and they have very strong network. So those who have some understanding or some discussion with this Kirana store owners, so it may be a family business for them for several generations, and they have strong network of distributors, and most probably they won't change their business style. So regularly they are making their business, and they stick to that. And credit on both the sides, forward and backward. They get goods on credit from distributors or big wholesalers, and sometimes they provide goods in credit to the consumers also, credible consumers. They understand, they identify, they have their own credit worthiness of the consumers, so they give in credit also. And since they are having the stores in the place for a longer time, they have personal relationship with the consumers and that area, and they accept nowadays almost all the mode of payments. So in cash, cards, all banking, ATMs, things done by the small stores. On the other hand, they have weaknesses also. So there are some standards of packing and description of brands. So there are likely chances of by mistake or unconsciously there may be some mistakes in packing and
Hello,
distribution. And
hello,
most of the times it is sold in smaller quantities
hello,
from
Dr.
a big
Dr.
package.
Pradhan. Hello,
Yes, yes.
uh, sir, your background light is not clear a little bit. So if you can put up some light, your background light is not
Okay.
clear. Yeah. If you can sit near window or
It is,
something.
yeah. Just I tried, but there is the only thing I can
Okay,
manage.
okay, okay, sir. Okay, continue. No issue, no issue. Continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So most of the times, goods are sold in local time. It's called loose. So you can get 50 grams, 150 grams of anything based on the money available with the consumer. So that time you need to open the package to give smaller quantities. So it leads to admixture and adulteration sometimes. So these two are very big weakness where these big players can play these features against the small stores, because on the side of quality, hygienic and food safety, so these points are very important. Clean packing and free from admixtures and adulteration. Every consumer is very conscious. So they have very low warehousing capacities. They do regular buying and selling. So they don't have much establishment on.
Hello, hello. Dr. Pradhan, whether it is audible? Hello. Hello, Brother Suram. Hello. Hello, Brother Suram. Whether it's audible? Hello. Hello. Yes, sir. Whether it's audible?
Yes, audible, audible.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yes.
something disconnected in between. Shall I
Oh,
continue?
yeah, yeah. Continue, continue. No issue.
Okay. Yes. So generally the prices are slightly higher at retail stores. So most probably it is MSP printed at the package, but you can get some discount from big stores, which attracts the people towards big stores. That is a weakness. And since they are operating a small business, the scale of economy they cannot enjoy several times. So some of the opportunities for these small stores. So modernization is possible nowadays. Very artistically, you can design your store to showcase your products, and already they are using those technologies. Again, the adoption of digital technologies, social media, and getting orders in groups, delivering those things can be adopted. This will boost up their business, and that will serve the customers also. And they can invest to some extent in this modernizing and volume of expanding the volume of business. That is, there is an opportunity because it is very highly profitable business. And some of the literature shows it is two times, three times profitable. This ratio can go up to 2.5. It's highly profitable. So small stores can think of investing in modernizing and expanding their business. And they have to establish links with producer farmers, FPCs, in addition to their previous business networks. So generally they have very closed network, so they can expand this link as an opportunity where you can help the farmers through the FPCs. Okay, on challenges side, it is obvious nowadays big players are entering into the retail business, so they will be a big challenge for small stores, especially on food safety, hygiene, and standards front. And nowadays the
Trial.
online behavior is hello. Nowadays the online buying behavior is very common. So people just order from their home and they wait for the delivery.
Trial.
So though retail stores, small stores can adopt this, So by professional, these big players are very strong in delivering their customers in a very nice manner. Norms, standards may be difficult for the small stores to adopt sometimes. Food standards, food norm, packages, so many things. And policies and regulations. When there is a policy to promote big players in the market, and it will be a big challenge for them. So it is challenge side. So these are all just indicative. We can add so many points in this walk. So in summary, during the post-COVID period, there will be a strong footing of doorstep delivery system. There are already players, so they will hold very strongly in future, and the entry of new big e-com players on retailing. At the same time, the local micro or small markets will emerge very strongly because they flourished much during this critical period. So for a reasonable time, this is a favorable situation for them to grow. So they will adopt modern technologies by receiving orders through apps, calls, and there are chances. It is already in the market anyhow. There are chances for emergence of new local brands which are promoted by farmers, producer companies, the products from their member farmers. So it is a mix of business and livelihood. So though the major players they play in terms of competition, the government and government policies should consider this small players in sustainability and livelihood front. So to conclude, despite competition from big players, small stores continue to be successful, and large number of sellers and consumers depend on small stores. So this shows some welfare. Government policies are to be continued to support small sellers and producers, like promotion of FPCs and their products. And nowadays, retailers also they are coming to the modern marketing technologies, especially in payment modes, taking orders, and delivery. With this, I conclude this presentation, and these are the references used in the paper. And I request the participants to go through the ICR Farmers Advisory. Probably most of you have gone through. So 3 pages advisory to cover all the sections of the farming.
Okay, thank you, sir, for this valuable talk. Now the webinar is open for discussion. Any questions? Please raise your questions, participants. Participants, please raise your questions.
Good morning, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Morning.
I'm Dr. Pradipta Chandra speaking.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello. So from last week, I'm observing that the farmers producers organizations and all the farmers groups will be active and will be the key or nodal institution of,
Sir, your voice is not audible, please.
So the question is not audible. Just you post in the chat so we can
Sir,
read and answer.
he's asking what is the role of FEO in this COVID-19 crisis? Means how FEO or farmer producer organization can play its crucial role in this COVID-19 crisis?
Yeah, they are playing a very important role. Each and every farmer cannot come to the market with their small quantity of produce. That is cost-wise, it is not effective. So these FPCs will aggregate the produce from the member farmers, and they bring it to market or they sell directly. So I have displayed one case in Nagarkoil.
Okay.
So they act on both the sides. farmer side, they collect produce, aggregate the produce from members, and the other side, they deliver to the consumers at doorstep. So a lot of things are taken care by the FPC. The role of entire middleman is shouldering on the FPC. So they are playing an important role in maintaining this hygiene also.
Okay.
And and farmers can concentrate on production activities instead of going to markets. They have the produce to FPC and they can take care of the production activities.
Sure, sir. Participants, please raise your questions. Sir, one question is regarding are the marketing opportunities for organic food products will increase in post-COVID?
Yes, sir.
One question is coming whether organic food products, means the production of organic, will increase in this post-COVID?
Yes, I got the question.
Yeah.
So there is a general demand, high demand for organic produces, but it is a question of how regularly the buyers are doing the purchase of organic produce. Two things. One is the price front. Second one is availability. So pure organic products are available in smaller quantity comparatively, but price is higher. And those who buy once, and based on my readings and things, the repetition is not so frequent.
Okay.
Just they make an attempt. That's all. And it is very successful in vegetables and greens.
Sure.
So there is a lot of scope, and movement of vegetables, fruits are very prominent in organic section. Surely, definitely there will be a high demand for organic products. Invariably of this COVID, post-COVID, there will be surely a demand for organic products.
Sure, sir. Okay, participants, please raise your questions.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, this is Suleiman from Raichur. So my question is, sir, this post-COVID will generally help the farmer to avoiding market functionaries.
Okay.
Because as we see now, farmers are selling directly because of COVID. Either they are selling to something through directly, they are to consumers. They are preferring consumers. So this situation prevails even after the COVID-19.
Oh, that is not sure. See, one of my slides, I told you there are so many small middlemen who purchase produce from farmers and they sell in the market. Means by cycle, by mopeds, they do. Actually, they are not farmers. They are the village traders. They buy from farmers and they sell in the town or city markets. It's not necessarily for the farmer in person to sell the produce even after COVID. So some farmers, they sell produce in farmers market. They have a permanent stall. That is fine, but it is not for all the farmers because they have production activity also. And since the production is very, very large, one person or one or two persons from farmer side cannot sell everything directly to the consumer. So some players will emerge in between consumers and producers to transfer this small quantity of farm produce.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Professor Karnaran, here from Department of Agriculture Economics.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning all. I first appreciate Dr. Pradiswaran giving the very valuable information this normal situation, particularly in agriculture produce handling and supply chain management. This is give a good outlook about the system, how to handle. Particularly, this Tamil Nadu is concerned, a lot of the farmers producers company is very active. Any additional strategies to be included for the additional investment because for providing some vehicle for transporting this door delivery or standardizing these farmers producer company local branding or packaging so that value addition can be improved the farmers producers company activities. Third one is However, they can diversify the product. Normally, these farmers producer companies is very few product, one or two product. Using these pandemic situations, perishables, particularly fruits, vegetables, that can be added like our what we did our farmers market. Apart from the individual farmers produce, they can allow to buy some produce and do the things. Why don't the farmers producers company also take care of this situation of handling this, assembling and distributing the things to handle these situations, because it is organized sector, not like mobile traders. So we can easily control the system. What are all the strategies or any ideas about these three aspects for this one?
Sir, FPC is mostly concentrating on not perishable, means food grains and spices. So handling these perishables may be adding cost to these FPCs in their marketing strategy. And already there are established options for selling vegetables in farmers market and the local sellers and lot of small shops, and probably the FPCs opt the food grains and storable items, which can be packed, branded, and sold. So what FPCs may think handling these perishables may take a large part of their time and work, and which may not be so profitable for them. It has to be fit in their business model. Actually, FPC is a company. Each FPC has a business model. So they choose these kind of items instead of fruits and vegetables. That is my opinion. Because of the perishability, they may be thinking twice to deal those products.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question regarding how local processing industry can play role in this COVID-19 crisis. Local processing
Yes, sir, they have
industries.
very important. Yes, they have very important role, because the production is what you call constrained within the production center itself because of this
Sure.
restricted transportation. So a lot of things remain surplus within the same production center. So in other terms, the value addition means the role of agro process is very prominent. And nowadays we can observe lot of agro processors, they place order with the farmers and wholesalers, where the stagnated products are available in their warehouses. So they have a main role. It is good for them also. This period they can get lot of raw materials, means the agri products for value addition. They can. It is a opportunity for them.
Sure.
To buy lot of material to add value and sell.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Participants, please raise a question.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Tom.
Sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, sir. You have told that.
Thank you to
Participants,
Niam and all the technical people for hosting this webinars. Sir, my question is to you: is that
Yes.
as we are expecting the big players are coming to the market in the
Yes.
retailer sections, mainly they are also having big involvement in selling of fruits and vegetables, and also they are focusing on perishables. So my
Yes.
question is, sir, they are primarily in the beginning they were operating in the large amounts in the main cities, but sir, now they are expanding and they are also shifting their retailer shops to the rural and local markets, sir. So
Yes.
my question is, how the farmers should overcome this problem, because they are losing their customers, and they are also facing a problems to compete with the brands or established companies.
Exactly. So in one of the challenges slide, I listed this big players as the first challenge, small stores, because their investment is very heavy. They have very good managers, and they can hire very trained experts in management at any time. And most importantly, they are entering into uh, rural sections, means where the kirana stores are very widely having the coverage. So though nowadays lot of departmental stores were acquired by these big players. Probably you might have read in newspaper. The big player, you can easily understand who it is nowadays, the recent time. So they acquire this chain of stores, which already catering to the people. And one after certain period, so that will be under their full management control. So it is a threat for these small stores. That the only option is the small stores has to come up with usage of technologies to keep consumer base. Two things I can observe. One is buying online behavior is very prominent. So when these retails provide WhatsApp ordering, phone ordering, SMS ordering to their kirana stores, they can think of taking those orders and delivery. Second one is they have to modernize and elaborate their business little bit to just at least survive against big players.
Yes, sir. Yeah, participant, please raise a question. Yeah.
Hello, sir. You have mentioned that low-income people are mainly buying the cereal crops, and this may result in a higher production of cereals in the next year, or this may affect any other crops other than the cereals. And my other next question is, there is a severe outbreak of COVID due to an Coimbatore market. What are all the mistakes or steps that the government or agriculture department have taken to further not to damage or to damage that COVID?
So to answer your first question, consumption of cereal based foods largely by low income group may affect food reserve or food production next year. That is not a problem. So we foresee the coming season is a normal season, and some parts the cultivation activities are also started, and the inputs related to crop cultivation also ensued. So production and supply of food grains, main cereals in the coming season or year may not be a problem as on today. Second one is the spread of virus. Actually, that is not Coimbatore. Coimbatore is a different place. Coimbatore is a market in Chennai. That is a very
Yeah, sorry, sir. Coimbatore market in Chennai.
yeah, that is not an issue. So that is a very big market in
Yeah.
Asia. So a lot of people are coming. Chennai is very thickly populated. So it is like collection of several districts that becomes Chennai. So since the time is very limited to buy, so a lot of people started putting into the market without following some of the SOPs. So that was very difficult to manage. Police forces were also engaged, but beyond that they entered and they operated. So nowadays it is the place is very much regulated. To mention, some military forces also engaged in regulation. So it is not the side of the government to take has taken lightly. It is not true. Government is repeatedly insisting these announcements not only for the public in the markets also. I have shown pictures. In small markets, you can establish these tunnels, sanitation tunnels, but big markets, highly populated markets like Coimbatore, it is very difficult to establish those structures, and that becomes very less successful when the heat is very more than the expected.
Sure. Now I request all the participants, you can raise your questions or you can directly contact our eminent speaker. So, sir, coming up to the concluding remark, the talk was very valuable regarding you move from market equilibrium, then you talk about the two hands of economics, that is supply and demand. Then dealing with micro level, you talk how the big firms are coming up in the rural areas and they are capturing the markets. Then you talked about the diversified basket, then intense purchase or panic purchase which is taking place due to this COVID-19 crisis. Then you talk about the frequencies, services, consumption pattern, how the government is playing its role in sanitizing the tunnels, farmers market, and you talked about the opportunities and challenges, how we can overcome COVID-19 crisis. Sir, on the behalf of all and Director General CCS NIAM Jaipur, I am thankful to all the participants, organizers, and our eminent speaker for this valuable webinar. Thank you, and have a good day, sir.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.